Hello, my wonderful humans. Okay, as promised, here's your audio for chapter 52 and 53. I'm so sad that I'm not here with you guys. I wish I could see your reactions. Parkin, feel free to record because I'm so jealous that you get to experience the reactions. So, here's chapter 52. It's called Twinkie. This can't be happening. It has to be a dream. Tobin is going to wake me up any minute now, banging on my window to tell me I'm late to work again. That he's going to have to put my report in my employee file. But there is no bang, bang, bang on my window telling me Mrs. Dickerson called with a fresh pan of cookies or a new sighting. I squeeze my eyes shut real tight and then open them again. It's real. It's not a dream. I stare at the creature standing in front of me. A Bigfoot. My heart isn't beating, my eyes aren't blinking, and my legs have gone completely numb. I'm sure it's a stroke this time. A real live Bigfoot, peering in at me, ducked under the pine. A reddish brown creature holding up the bottom bough of the pine tree, sniffing at me. He wrinkles his nose and sniffs me again. I hope I don't smell like a veggie burger with all the fixins. He snuffs at me then, like I smell more like a boiled Brussels sprouts than a juicy burger, which makes me feel a little better. Then I wonder if the Bigfoot thinks I smell as bad as I think he smells, even though I took a bath with the blue washcloth and Charlie's bar of Irish Spring. It may not be Mr. Bubble, but it does the trick. He snuffs at me again. I'm still as a statue, unable to move. And even if my brain did remember what I'm supposed to holler, my voice wouldn't remember how to make the sound come out of my throat. And my fingers certainly don't remember how to aim the Polaroid or that it's even around my neck. I stare at him and he stares at me. He wrinkles his nose again and then he sniffs again and then he sneezes. Gesundheit, I whisper slowly. He wrinkles his nose again and cocks his head to the right. He's not 9 feet tall, he's smaller, about my size, except it's hard to tell for sure since I'm still ducked under the pine and he's still on his feet and bent down peeking in at me. I wonder how old he is. Maybe almost 11 like me, since he's almost the same size. He smells me again, leaning a bit closer to get an even better whiff. He's probably wondering what I'm doing out here. The same thing occurs to me at this very second. The Bigfoot examines me, looking at every part of me, and I do the same. His hair is scraggly, just like Charlie described. It's long, too, and hangs down from the arms. His hands are well past his knees, like an ape's. He's bipedal and has black fingernails and brown eyes, and when he opens his mouth, I can see a bright red tongue inside. I don't know what makes me do it, but I slowly reach my hand out towards the creature. He backs away, letting go of the branch. It's okay, I say. He snorts in and snuffs out and then takes a step forward again. I bring my arm up higher until it's stretched out as far toward him as it will reach, just past the very tips of the needles of the lowest branch of the pine. On my palm, the pancake flat golden Twinkie, an offering of peace, of friendship, of love. Because the Bigfoot is a part of my new family and my new life, and he's another reason why Mama led me to this very special place called Willow Creek, my new home. I'm here to protect the animals, just like she would. I'm here to have a family and to make new memories. The Bigfoot breathes in and out, snorting and snuffing as he moves closer to my hand. It's good, I say, smiling hesitantly. Sweet, with just the perfect cake to filling ratio. I know you probably don't understand that, but believe me, it's real important. You can try it if you want to. Tobin says you won't eat them, but I know you'll like it. A hairy reddish brown arm slowly reaches towards me. I remember what Charlie said about the time he saw the Bigfoot in his headlights. He told me the creature looked more scared of him than he was of it. I don't think it's exactly the same for me since my heart is beating a million beats a second and the whole stroke thing is happening, but he certainly looks just as scared as me. It's okay, I tell the creature. I won't ever hurt you. Mama sent me here to help you. Fingers reach toward me, real, live Bigfoot fingers, with wrinkles on the knuckles and opposable thumbs with dermal ridges on them. Just when they touch my hand, a loud whoop soars through the air from way back near the fence post. Mr. Harold checking up on me. The Bigfoot jumps and then quickly pulls away like he touched a flame. It's okay, I say again, taking a deep breath. It's okay, really it is. He takes another big snort in my direction and then snuffs out loudly through his mouth this time, spitting at me. Reddish brown hairy knuckles reach toward me again, slower this time, gently reaching until they wrap around the Twinkie, his eyes never once leaving mine. I watch him hold the Twinkie up to his nose and give it a big, long sniff. No snuff. Then the bright red tongue slips from his mouth and tastes the sweet cream filling, and when I blink again, the Twinkie is gone. In one giant gulp, the entire thing is gone, and the creature stands there staring at me, chewing the golden snack cake. I knew it! Chewing, staring, snuffing. That's when I hear more footsteps crunching in the woods. Cracking sticks and swaying branches, I know he hears it too, because he stops chewing. He wrinkles his nose up in the air.
Mr. Howard, please call
Oh,
extension.
okie dokie. My bad. Here we go. Hope you enjoyed that little detour there. Yada, 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 yada. Wow, it's like real-time live class losing my place in the book. Shocking. Okay. He wrinkles his nose up in the air and sniffs in the direction of the noise. He gives me one last look and then disappears through the trees with silent, lightning-fast grace. He's gone. And from under the pine, I see Mr. Harold's cowboy boots and Charlie's hiking boots with knee-high socks walk by me. Mr. Harold, Charlie, I call out to them, scrambling out from under the branch. They stop, and Mr. Harold bends down to give me his hand. Oh, Lemonade, he breathes a sigh. I didn't hear a whoop back, and I got worried and called Charlie. Everything okay? You seem to be in one piece, Charlie says, leaning down to brush the dirt from my knees. He took it, I tell him. Who? Mr. Harold asks. He took it, I say again, pointing right towards the creature that ran off through the woods. Right from my hand. I hold my hand out to show them. What are you talking about? Charlie asks. My Twinkie! They stare at me and then at my empty hand. Who did? Mr. Harold asks again. I take a giant swallow and lean toward them. The little foot, I whisper. Ah! Lem found the little foot. Okay, last chapter. 53 is called Lemonade. How could you not have taken a picture? Tobin demands for the zillionth time in a row. I mean, are we shocked that Tobin is mad about this? No, of course not. We're all sitting around Charlie's kitchen table. Me, Debbie, Charlie, and Tobin. That same night after they come home from visiting Scotty in the hospital. Debbie told us that Scotty is making great progress already, and the doctors think he'll be able to go back home soon. Tobin said he beat Scotty in 6 out of 7 games of checkers, but he thought maybe Scotty let him win some of them. I told you, I sigh, a loud sigh. It happened so fast that my brain just stopped working. I didn't know what else to do. How about snap a Polaroid, remember? Always a picture first. Always a picture. I know, I say, but I already told you my brain stopped working. It was like I was frozen in my skin. So let me get this straight. Tobin holds his head in his hands. Instead of taking a picture with the camera hanging from your neck so that Bigfoot Detective Inc. could go down in cryptozoological history and make a discovery that would be in every science book until the end of time, you shared your hostess snack cake? He says the last 6 words real slow, like he can't believe his ears. And you were wrong, too. He did like it, I tell him. He ate the whole thing in one gulp and only a few chews. Tobin slaps his forehead and shakes his head. Yeah, I just slapped my forehead. I can't believe you didn't get a picture, he says again. But I was right? Who cares? I care, I say. He slaps his forehead and shakes his head again. It's not like I planned it or anything, I say. I couldn't think. I turn to Debbie. I couldn't. My brain froze up. Of course, Lemonade. Debbie touches my arm. What a frightening experience. I would have been terrified. I was scared for sure, I say to her, and then turn to Charlie. But then I remembered what you said about him being a little more scared of me. And he was, Charlie. He really was. Are you sure it wasn't someone in a suit? Tobin glares at me with his arms crossed. Very funny, I say. But you know what? You can ask me that and I don't even care. You want to know why? Because it was real. I look at Charlie and then at Debbie, a real live being, with eyes and a nose and even black fingernails. Black fingernails, Debbie repeats. Yeah, I say, and crooked toenails too. Tobin huffs a loud sigh. I can't believe you saw one. He looks straight at me. Before me, I'm the founder and the president of Bigfoot Detectives, Inc. You're just the assistant. It isn't fair. Well, maybe it's time to change that, I say. Change what? My status. I look at Charlie and he's giving me a toothy grin, bigger than any toothy grin I've ever seen on him. I like it, Charlie says. You do? I ask. Are you kidding? Of course I do. Tobin looks back and forth between Charlie and me, back at me, and then at Charlie. You're saying you want to be a real half and half partner? Tobin asks. I think about it. 50-50, I say, smiling. Wit Sky Bigfoot Detective Inc. Tobin studies me. That means you're staying, he asks. Yep. For good? Yep, I say again. Cross your heart? Cross my heart, I say. Not going to change your mind? Nope, I say. Not going to blow this taco stand? It's a popsicle stand. A popsicle stand. And no, I'm not going to blow this popsicle stand. He leans back in his chair and looks at me for a long time with wrinkled eyebrows. How about we just keep it Bigfoot Detective Inc. and I can make you vice president? You can be in charge of the operations. Some of the operations, he says. You mean like moving the message pad? I ask. That's a whole level of security clearance. I roll my eyes. Well, are you in or not? He asks. I think about it. Deal, I say, holding out my hand. He holds out his and we shake on our new partnership. I think a promotion like this deserves some ice cream, Debbie says. Don't you agree, Charlie? Charlie clears. Oh my. Hold, pause, beep. Okay, we back in action. Charlie clears his throat a bunch of times before he answers. Absolutely, he says. Strawberry? I smile up at Debbie. What else? Debbie grins back at me and places an arm around my shoulders. Vanilla, Tobin states flatly. Debbie and I look at each other and laugh. Wait! Tobin slaps both palms on the table and then darts up and out of the room. The screen door bangs and we hear his footsteps pound down the porch steps. Where in the world is he going? I ask Debbie. Oh, wait, I know. I have to sign it in triplicate, don't I? She just smiles and takes a sip from her flowered mug. Decaf with more cream than coffee and 2 teaspoons of sugar. Charlie pushes his chair back and leans toward the counter. He grabs the big manila envelope, the one full of official papers that Dolores Jaworski left at the store. He carefully opens it and pulls out a packet of pages stuck together with a single staple. You're really sure? He asks. This time, I don't even have to think about it. I'm sure, I tell him. I don't want to leave you or Tobin or Debbie or Mrs. Dickerson or Mr. Harold or Scotty or even the Bigfoot. He smiles and I smile too. Debbie sniffs and wipes at her eyes with the corner of a folded paper towel. I watch Charlie scribble his name in cursive on the line at the bottom of the page and then slip it back in the envelope. He licks the top and seals it tight. It's official. You're stuck with me, he tells me. I lay my head on his arm and smell the Irish Spring mixed with the Old Spice. You're stuck with me, too, I say. Nothing I want more. He places his large hand gently on my head. The screen door bangs again, and Tobin is back and all out of breath and lobbing something in my direction. Here, he says. I catch it. I know exactly what it is the minute it touches my hands. I lay it on the table and smooth out all the wrinkles. A tan safari hat of my very own. And not just any safari hat, one with hand-painted letters across the brim. Bigfoot, Detectives, Inc. When did you... I knew you'd change your mind, he says. Your lemonade. You've been all along. You just forgot. I knew you'd find it again. Yeah? I ask. Yeah, he says. Here, let me put it on you. I get up from the chair and he pulls the hat down on top of my head and then adjusts the strap until it's so tight I can hardly swallow. We stand there staring at each other with big, goofy grins on our faces and our tan safari hats strapped tight under our chins. Lemonade, Liberty Wit, I hereby promote you to Vice President of Bigfoot Detective Inc., and I hereby promote you to full-fledged Bigfoot Detective. But first, raise your right hand. Not again, I exclaim. It's for a whole new level of clearance, he tells me, raising his right hand high in the air. Oh, I say, raising mine too. I, Lemonade, Liberty Wit, promise with all faith and allegiance to follow all Bigfoot Detective Inc. protocol herein set forth by Tobin Sky, the founder and president. Give me a break. Say it. I repeat it, but only with another big eye roll about the whole faith and allegiance thing. And I will well and faithfully perform the duties of the office of Vice President with Bigfoot Detective Inc. What does a wheel well have to do with anything? It's not a wheel well, it's a will well. That's what soldiers say in their oath. I still don't get what a wheel well has to do with it. It's not, just say it. With a wheel well, I will do the job of Vice President with Bigfoot Detective Inc. Tobin eyes me. Close enough, he says. And I hereby promise not to blab any confidential cryptozoological information, and I promise I won't move the message pad because I still haven't obtained the proper level of clearance. I drop my hand. Come on. All right, he says. He smiles. I guess you're official. Charlie and Debbie raise their coffee mugs and cheer. My fingers touch the brim of the hat, my very own safari hat, and I feel myself grinning so hard that my cheeks hurt. Well, what do you think? I ask him, posing like I'm searching for the next mid-tarsal break footprint. He peers at me over his wire rim, studying me like one of his puzzle pieces. I think, he says, it's a perfect fit. I think so too, I say. How about the yellow legal pad? Do I have clearance for that? Tobin thinks about it. Maybe, he says, and then he grabs my arm. Wait, was that the green phone ringing? Tobin Sky, don't you even think about it, Debbie says. It's 9 o'clock at night. The Bigfoot can wait until morning. Oh, Mom, time means nothing to the cryptozoologist. Well, it means something to the cryptozoologist's mother, she smiles at Charlie. Tobin huffs a big sigh and then looks at me. Oh, wait, 30 hours, partner? I'll be there, I say. I really hope so this time because, you have a tendency to be late, and I told you I'm going to have to put that in your employee file. Vice president or not, it's the rules. And without rules, I know there's anarchy. Don't worry, I'll be there. I say, should we synchronize? Tobin! Okay. He smiles at me and I smile at him, and then we hear it, a call from deep inside the woods. Woo! And that's it. Didn't it just melt your heart? Okay, I can't wait to hear your reactions on Monday. Also, a side note, if you are looking for a little hint, hint, wink, wink on some potential pages to use as a quote for your characterization of Lemonade that you're about to do next, think about the fact that she just got her very own safari hat. AK, we could use that as one of her appearance traits. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Anyway, have a good rest of your day. See you guys Monday. Bye.